Welcome back aboard Arabella. This week, Steve hands the controls over to Robin as she continues her practice handling the boat with as little help as possible while they're still in calm water. Then they'll leave the Bredor Lake for a short stay in Sydney, where Steve gets a few boat projects done before making the crossing over to Newfoundland next week.
So today looks super mellow.
Very mellow, yeah.
Yeah, there's almost no wind. I don't even know if we're pulling on our mooring line. It's
Yeah, I don't think so either. What do you think about me like single-handing it out of here?
I think it's a great day to do that.
Yeah, it's really calm. There's not no current to deal with. You promise you'll tell me something catastrophic before I do it?
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
I'll let you make mistakes, but I won't let you
Don't let me
hurt
make-
yourself or the boat.
Yeah, don't let me make a catastrophic mistake,
Yeah, no,
please.
absolutely not.
All right, awesome.
But yeah, I think that's good. So I already plotted the course. That's all fired up.
Okay,
If you wanna, I think just start up the engine
all right.
and then drop the mooring lines. I like to fire up the engine and just let it run for 3 or 4 or 5
Okay.
minutes before I drop the mooring lines.
Just kind of make sure.
Just kind of make sure it doesn't
Sure.
have a hiccup. It shouldn't, but
Yeah.
you know,
Okay, great.
you never know.
All right.
Oh, you have exhaust coming out, always important. So yeah, she's pumping water, that's good.
All right.
When the boat's moving, if you're not eating and drinking, your seasickness will get worse, which will make you not want to eat and drink. It's just a vicious feedback cycle. So being able to very quickly, very easily have all of those calories and nutrients that you need for a meal and have that very quick in an easy form is really handy when the boat's rocking and rolling. This video is sponsored by Huel, and if you are not familiar with Huel, they are a nutritionally complete food in a powder form. So if you take 1 scoop, it's 200 calories, 2 scoops, it's 400 calories. When we get to Newfoundland, we've got some really big objectives, and those short days and big objectives mean alpine starts. It means you wake up somewhere usually between midnight and 3 a.m. to start your day. And that's where Huel comes in. It's more than a protein shake. It's everything that you need for your calories, for your protein to get going. Robin and I tried the cookies and cream and the salted caramel. I personally like the cookies and cream. She's more of a fan of the salted caramel. Try Huel with my 15% off code, Acorn15. You can click that link in the description below and give Huel a try.
I think my plan would just be to motor forward and like around these 2 boats here and out.
And there's 2 mooring lines.
Yes.
So I would drop 1 and then
see where we
see where we swing and
Okay.
you know, then toss the other one, and you can decide which one you want to toss depending on which one's kind of holding us and which one's not, and
Okay.
how you want the bow to sit.
Awesome.
Down to 1.
Okay.
I think if you drop that, it's just gonna we're just gonna get blown clear.
Okay. I'm just debating whether I should go that way.
I think probably, but I would just drop it and just kind of give the boat a second and see which way she goes.
Okay.
But we're not gonna go anywhere with any sort of speed. So.
Okay. All right. Well, then I'm gonna drop this line. Do I need to do anything with our bridle?
Nope, just make sure it's all clear.
All right. Yeah, we're totally clear.
All right.
All right. Cool. All right.
Drifting.
Unmanned boat.
Unmanned
Ah.
boat.
Okay. And I'm just gonna go forward then. I think that seems like a reasonable.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Are we getting blown
We're
around?
getting blown. So at this point, you might want to just wait and let that
Yeah.
bow get blown around.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
'Cause like I said, we're not going anywhere fast. There is no rush.
All right.
Plans are good, but you can never be too stuck to them.
Sure.
You let that go and that little puff of wind came, and you probably could have made it in front, but I think the wise move was just letting us come around behind.
Yeah, I totally changed my mind like 14 times on my exit strategy.
Yeah, it's fine.
That's okay. We didn't hit any boats, so
that's the important part.
All right, I can crank this up a little bit more. All right. There's 50.
All right, I would set her there. Let's see where we sit.
That's getting so twisty. Is that enough wraps?
Yeah, do one more. There you go. Plenty. Yeah, keep going. Yeah, it's good. She's hanging straight down now.
All right.
Cool. And then give her a little reverse,
Okay.
and we'll set that thing. All right, throw her in neutral. Yeah, you're good. Yeah, you can turn her off. Oh, yeah. Good job, Captain.
Thank you. I learned it from watching you.
So the note in avionics says off the head of the bay we can find trails that go up to the top of the hill.
Yeah, and then running into those youths.
The youths.
The utes. Yeah, it sounds like we go up that ATV trail over there.
Yeah, past the quarry.
They just kind of said follow it until we are up top.
Yeah, it sounds like there's just a bunch of ATV trails and
Yeah.
so go up. You said something about some cliffs and some fjords. I don't know, see what we can find.
Sounds great.
We're getting up there.
Yeah, we are.
We haven't done this much vert in a long time.
No, starting to catch some views.
It's beautiful. As the youth said, just take the ATV trail up and up and up and up and up and up. Come on, bud, let's go, let's go, let's go. Come on. It's funny, man, the camera, it just looks like a gentle slope.
Yeah, the camera doesn't do it justice.
No, not even close.
If it gives any perspective, we've been going up this road for like a mile and we've done almost 700 feet of elevation. So it's pretty steep.
It's nice.
It's awesome.
been a while.
I love it.
Footing's a little loose.
Yeah, the Chacos. Yeah, bad choice. All my trail runners are in the car. I had no choice. I'm getting by.
Whew, and the temps are warming.
They sure are.
All right, Akiva, lead the way. You got it, old man.
As soon as we stopped, my glasses started fogging up.
Yeah.
Ah, have we surmounted?
I don't think so, not quite yet, but we're getting there.
Yeah, we are.
There's the Atlantic.
Beautiful.
Looks like the coyotes use this trail too. Bunch of fur and bones. This trail is becoming more and more bushwhacky, and we have been descending for a little bit.
Yeah, it feels like we're getting away from a vista of some point.
I think so too.
Let's kind of look at where we are. I know there's no like trails, but let me look at a topo map here.
Let's see where we are in space and time.
Yeah. Okay, so we are. All right, so we hit the ridge line and we've descended now. It looks like we're walking parallel to the shoreline, walking away from the boat.
Yeah, I concur.
Okay, and then I think if we go, so we saw that path, that the ATV trail that intersected
Towards Baines Brook.
towards Baines Brook.
Oh, that would kind of make sense, because I've been wondering why on earth you would even have these ATV trails up there, and to get up to those ponds and the plateau, that kind of makes more sense.
Yeah. All right, I say reverse course, and then let's bang a left.
All right, and we're like 600 feet now.
Yeah.
And it looks like the plateau is like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
So it's 1,000 up here, 800 there, so that would be 900.
Perfect.
Let's go continue to get lost. Back to the road and the boat. That was a good hike.
That was really fun.
On to bigger hills. One step closer to Newfoundland.
So we got some currents coming up. That's the thing here, right? In the Narrows.
Yeah, the Narrows and leaving the Bredor Lakes. You've got a pretty good little pinch where you got a lot of water coming and going. So we'll have a little bit of current coming out, but shouldn't be enough to be a problem, knock on wood. And there shouldn't be enough wind to really create too much of a wind over tide situation, but I mean, you can see some disturbed water over here.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not nothing. Oh, there's a little bit of wind, 5 knots, 6, 7, 8. Oh man. Wind's picking up just in time to go through.
Great.
Much to the relief of the crew, the passage through the Narrows and into Sydney Harbor was calm and uneventful. But even in calm conditions, the interaction between the winds and the current was visible, with small standing waves lapping the sides of the boat as they made their way out into the Atlantic. Robin continued her practice as she set sails for the short hop around the bend and into Sydney Harbor. The next morning, she readied her road bike for a 61-mile trek back to the truck, all the way back to St. Peter's, where they first entered the lake through the canal.
All right, sweetie.
Have fun, be safe.
I love you. I'll see you in a couple hours.
I love you too, enjoy.
And Steve used the time alone at the dock to work on a couple boat projects that have been on the to-do list.
And this seems like a pretty good time to repaint one of our propane tanks. So last time I went and got one of these filled, they gave me a little bit of a hard time about the rust that's starting to develop on them. It's not a lot, but it's enough. And I've got some Total Protect to put on there. So this is the 2-part epoxy paint, and I'm willing to bet it's gonna last a lot longer and be much more durable than what this tank came with a factory finish. So I think if we do this well, it's gonna be an upgrade. I used the flap disc on the angle grinder and hit everything that is not structurally a part of the tank. So I want to be a lot more gentle with this and these little rust spots, because this is all actually part of the tank that's containing the gas, where this foot that's welded on, you could punch holes in this and it's not going to structurally affect the tank. Now it's time to get the rust off the tank itself, and I'm going to do that with a brass wire wheel. So the brass is softer than the steel, so I'm going to have a pretty hard time eating through this steel tank with that soft brass wire. But it will do a great job of peeling away any of that loose paint and getting that rust off. So I ran over this whole thing with the wire wheel. Got our labels all taped off, got our valves taped off, and wiped it down with denatured alcohol. And now we just gotta mix up some paint.
This Total Protect epoxy paint is a 2-part system consisting of a base and the hardener. The base is very, very thick to start out with, and it needs to be mixed well first. A shaker or a drill attachment would be the best way to go here, but without either of those on board, Steve just went at it the old-fashioned way. Once the base was to the right consistency, Steve mixed it with the curing agent at a 3-to-1 ratio.
According to the plans, Arabella should have an 80-pound main anchor and 300 feet of 3/8 chain. Our main anchor is only 65. The modern anchors can be lighter for the same holding power as the old style fishermen's. And we carry 200 feet of 3/8 chain, so 100 feet less than what Atkins says. And our light anchor is a little heavier, it's 45 pounds, and we carry significantly less chain for that as well. We carry 100 feet of 1/4 inch. This spool of 3-strand nylon, built of 3 strands, made of nylon, it's 7/8 diameter, and it is 100 feet long. And this has just been hanging out in the forepeak, waiting for the day when we need more than 200 feet of anchor chain. So I haven't done anything with it because we haven't been anywhere where 200 feet of chain is not way more than enough. But we might see those conditions in the not too distant future. So we need to take and join this with our anchor chain in a way that will clear the bow rollers and behave nicely and be very strong. Because if we are using this, we are anchored in some A, very deep water, B, very bad conditions, or C, both. And we want to make sure that this is gonna be a strong connection to the chain and to the boat. For how to join our nylon rod to the anchor chain, we're going to reference The Complete Rigger's Apprentice by Brian Toss. And this is a very common way to do it. So this is the anchor chain splice. So we splice the nylon rod right into the last link of the anchor chain, and you end up with a really nice smooth connection between the chain and the road. The road is attached to the chain and ready to be deployed at a moment's notice. But there are a couple downsides to this, and one of the pros is that it's always attached to the chain, and one of the negatives is that it's always attached to the chain. So if we had, say, 50 feet of chain and the rest road, I would very much use this connection. But since we have 200 feet of chain and we don't often need the road, I would like the road to be available to be used as a tow line or a shoreline or anything else. I'm going to eventually want to flip the ends on the chain for wear and tear. You're going to want to flip the end on the road at some point for the same. So I think for our instance, a removable connection would be very nice. And when I was reading through options, this one kind of surprised me. So TOS is recommending using a Spectra soft shackle. You can join the chain's end link to an I-splice in the rope. The connection is smooth enough to get past chocks and gypsies, but can be disconnected and connected at will to switch out roads as needed, depending on anchoring depth or to replace worn components. So I think that we are going to go with that option and not have any metal in there, because a shackle would be the other option. And I think that the Spectra soft shackle is going to clear easier than a big hefty metal shackle will when it comes through the rollers. And we usually have some soft shackles kicking around on board anyways. And we can always put 2 or even 3 soft shackles in there if we wanted to help make more surface area and make sure that, for heavens forbid, something came undone, there were backups. Before I put a splice in one end of this, an I-splice, I'm going to transfer it off of this plywood wheel with a cardboard core, and I'm going to put it onto this spool that's totally made of plastic. So this is the one that the AM steel that we used for the lifelines and the deadeye lacings originally came on, and we used most of it up, so the remnants is in a coil, and I've been hanging on to this to transfer over, because at some point this plywood's going to start to delam, and that cardboard tube in there is definitely eventually going to disintegrate. So I think we'll be better switching this over. I put a wooden bench dog in the hole, and I put the hole in the center of the spool. Too good for you home. And now I can just pull this and let it spin on the workbench. So we'll take, I don't know, the next long while and get this neatly wound onto the plastic spool, and then we'll do an I-splice on the end and get ready for some deep water anchoring. Beautiful. All right, we can go get rid of that. I have the sheath here that's left over from doing the anchor pennant. And I pulled the core out and got rid of that and put it over our 3-strand. So when I form the I-splice, it's going to have that chafe cover over the I-splice, and we'll whip it down and make it all looking pretty neat. Just adds an extra layer of protection.
Show you. All right, so here, the middle went through here. Now I'm going to take the right side, and it's going to go underneath this guy here, because we're going to work with the right side. Well, this is the most important.
For learning to do all of the splices, I've found that turning to YouTube and watching someone do it, as opposed to just reading and looking at some pictures, has been pretty helpful. And for the 3-strand I-splice, I found this particular one, which is the Professional I-Splice, the Brian Toss method, which is the book that I was using earlier. It's around this point in the splice that I think this video ended up being a lot clearer than many of the other ones that I looked at. Getting these initial 3 tails tucked under the correct strand in the correct order is really crucial. If you don't get that part right, the rest of the I-splice won't come out well. And if you do get that part right, the rest of the I-splice is really easy. And I looked at a bunch of different videos, and this gentleman really explained that the best, I thought. So now we have our I-splice. We've got our chafe guard on there, which can still be trimmed down a little bit. It's kind of on the long side. And we've got our ends of our tails coming out. So I'm going to fire up the hot knife. Well, I'm going to take the scissors, cut these down, and take the hot knife, melt the ends a little bit. All right, last but not least, so just wrap on the chafe guard. So I'm just going to put a seasoning around there and melt and clean up the ends. So that's one side done. And not the prettiest seasoning in the world, but all it's doing is holding this sheath in place. So not a big deal. So I'm going to go through with the scissors and clip these fuzzy ends off. Wrap that around nice and tight. And we'll have two finished ends. I'm just going to take the end of the whipping twine here and run it through a couple times so we have a fixed end. And then I'll start doing some wraps. Our finished anchor road I-splice. Now I just need to make a couple more soft shackles. So this is a soft shackle, and it has a low friction ring sewn into it. So I will make a few of these without the low friction ring. And that's what we'll use to go around and join to the anchor chain. And I know this looks like using a shoelace on a giant cable, but this Dyneema is significantly stronger than the nylon. So if I put on a couple shackles like this just for backup through the last links of the anchor chain, it will be plenty strong, and chafe would be my only real concern. But the Dyneema is really low friction, and we've got some chafe guard on here. And Brian Toss says it'll work, so we're gonna trust him. Our anchor extension is fully rigged. So I have a little adhesive tie holding the Dyneema straps right up behind our Samson post here. And I got one more just holding it up. This is empty at the moment, but normally up here in the forepeak, there are PFDs. Akiva's extra PFD in case we lose his for some reason. Our snorkel gear, sail bags, duffel bag for when Robin flies somewhere or we fly somewhere. Just a couple of things that are very lightweight but very bulky and get stuffed up in here. So we want to make sure that this line is up and clear of all of that. And for this kind of thing, I like these little adhesive clips, so we can undo them and redo them. And this is also kind of like an emergency break glass. And you just grab and pull, and the plastic part holding it here will either come undone at the clasp, or you'll just pull the adhesive off of the varnish, one of the two. But either way, you give it a good tug, it'll just come. So super fast to deploy. And that I-splice will not fit up the hole where the chain goes. So when we deploy this line, it'll have to come aft and then up through the hatch, which has a bug net on at the moment, and over to the windlass. Well, we'll see how that behaves, see if it bounces around a lot in the sea state. Let's see what it does.
but I feel good about that. It's one project down. I can put the PFDs and stuff back up in here now.
Come back next week to see Steve and Robin off on their journey across the strait to Newfoundland as they close in on Arabella's home for the coming winter. Thanks for watching and liking and subscribing to all the videos. If you know someone who you think might like our videos, share it with them. Send them the link and help us grow the channel. And of course, you can really help us out by becoming one of our supporters on Patreon. Click the link in the description to find out more.